I just wanna find some peace, a place with no misery, in a land meant for you and me. can't find no ease. Oh, the air that I breathe, that I breathe, that I breathe, that I breathe. This place is trying to kill me. Just wanna find some peace. Every day, same old thing. Brothers on the corner begging for some change. This life has got to be rearranged. Tell me what's going on. Who can explain? My foot can't find no ease. Oh, the air that I breathe, that I breathe, that I breathe, that I breathe. They're trying to kill me. I just wanna find some peace. Got to pack my bags and go. Just can't stay here no more. I'm leaving it all behind. This place, peace I just can't find. My foot can't find no ease. Oh, the air that I breathe, that I breathe, that I breathe. This place is trying to kill me. Just wanna find. I got to find some peace. Gotta find some peace. I wanna rest my weary head. Sometimes I feel like walking. Oh, get over line. Full of strength. Oh, this ghetto life. Oh, this ghetto life. Just wanna find some ease. Just a little peace.
Alito family, shalom and peace to you all, wherever you are in the diaspora, as we witness World War III, the pale-faced invasion of the world once more. Yeah, they had 1 and 2. Now we're on World War III. And in the midst of this pale horse riding throughout all the world, killing everything they can find, some pale-faced scientists got together and they thought they was going to do some groundbreaking surgical procedures on some old Neanderthal. He's 57. He wasn't really old. 57, just 57. I'm 51. Damn, just 6 years older than me. But this Neanderthal that has several surgeries, heart transplants before. Anyway, 2 months ago, the Neanderthal paleface received a pig heart. You know, they say, oh, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had some pigs, right? E-I-E-I-O, he had some pigs on his farm. Old MacDonald, yeah. And they used, this is very interesting because they used the genetically modified pig's heart to put in this pale face. And the way they talk, like, it's like the pale face is not genetically modified himself. But the reality is pale faces are just that, genetically modified creatures, artificial intelligence. They create synthetic medicine. Their medicine is sinful. The word synthetic, synthetic. If you just drop the Y and add an I like they taught us in school, it would be synthetic, synthetic. It comes from a sinful place because they're one of the, if not the most, I would say the most sinful race on the planet. Yeah, I'm really here to kind of clown, you know, Western medicine once again, right? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let a few more people come in before I get to the videos. And I'm gonna say this now: YouTube, for YouTube, AI or actual mankind individual. These videos, none of them are copyrighted, so don't be trying to come with no copyright infringements and all this. And somebody said that, you know, detected some copyright claim in your video, Mr. Dawa, so we're gonna have to flag it or whatever. Don't start that. None of the videos I chose have any copyrights. So we're gonna play the videos, we're gonna look at what the European came up with that has already failed within the 2 months. But anyway, talk about medical situations and doctors and medical procedures. I'm a veteran. Spent 4 years in the Army. During the time of Gulf War I, Gulf War, Desert Storm, Desert Shield in 1990 and 1991, I was there. A lot of us soldiers came back and got ill, contracted Gulf War syndrome. A lot of us was going to the doctor to try to get compensation and, you know, medical attention first, then compensation later on. But anyway, back in 2013, I was talking to a doctor at the VA office. He looked like Trevor from the Cosby Show and shit. That dude that they daughter was going with the light skinned, the oldest, the dingy one she was going with a dude named Trevor. He kind of looked like him, tall too. Sat there at his desk and looking at me and told me, "Hey, y'all." Now I went in there. I told him I was having, trouble sleeping sometimes, a little insomnia, Sometimes I dreamed back when I was in the military. So I wasn't lying to him or nothing. The medical procedure he wanted to treat me with came from some pills. And he said, Mr. Davis, the guy, that's my name, last name, Davis, slave name. He said, I got this pill here. I want you to take it. And it just may make your penis get hard at any time. Just any time. You could be watering your garden. You could be at church giving a speech on Easter. For Easter, you could be singing a song, at an old folks' home. You could be just blowing in the wind, doing whatever, just anything. And Mr. Davis, your penis will just get hard. But to counter that, Mr. Davis, we have another pill. I'm going to give you simultaneously that you take with this pill too. And what it's going to do is make sure that your penis doesn't get hard at all. So it's kind of offsets everything. And I'm sitting there looking, waiting on Ashton Kutcher to come out the back room or something like that. I'm being punked. What the hell did he just say? This is Western medicine now. I'm telling you, I'm having a little insomnia. You all in my drawers. Wasn't nothing wrong with nothing in my drawers. Still ain't. But they want to get all in your drawers. They want to offset your testicular functions and things of that nature. I mean, like, the madness of those who sat down at these schools of medicine all over the country in America to become doctors, nurses. Just the sheer, utter disconnection from anything natural. You mention natural medicine to these doctors, and they tell you, I don't know anything about that. We don't know anything about that. All we know is, pills and, synthetic drugs and, chemotherapy. And, that's all they really got for you. In their healthcare system, they really don't care. It ain't much health. I don't even know what the hell they call it a healthcare system. Because you ain't taking care of nobody's goddamn health. Not in America. Not in America, right? That's right. They destroy everything they touch. Everything they touch, C and Trucker D. That's correct. Everything they touch, they destroy. That's right. It's a drug system. And they want to make everybody drug addict, dope heads. You see, the crack era hit in 82 under Reagan. Just say no to drugs. That was his motto. Just say no to drugs. While he's pumping so much goddamn crack in our neighborhoods, and then Nancy, his little so-called wife, which ain't probably nothing but a man, was to just say no to drugs. Just say no to drugs. When America consumes 75%, if not more, of the world's drugs. But see, the thing is, a pale-faced man, he'll make his drugs legal because he has the paperwork. Yes, paperwork. His paperwork says it's legal. So it's legal to give you drugs. As a matter of fact, let me tell you this. And I'll get back to the crack thing. But one other time, the doctor told me, the same VA doctor, Yeah, we're gonna give you a pill, and but make sure you hide your keys from yourself, because you may wake up and you may be sleepwalking, and from this pill, and you may just get out and drive your car and have an accident. I said, God damn, they trying to kill me over me coming up in here trying to get compensation for the Gulf War syndrome that I was dealing with in my body that they put there. Yeah, through a little white pill they gave us over in Saudi Arabia. You look at the movie Jarhead with Jamie Foxx, you'll see they gave us a little white pill. And plenty of immunizations, plenty of shots. Like they're doing right now, giving folks shots to have a certain effect on the body, right? Now back on up to the crack era, 82, like I said, Reagan was talking about just say no to drugs while he's pumping all these drugs in our neighborhood, right? So a lot of our households began to deteriorate from the drug induction. I see my brother Israel, Free Nation 3, peace to you, young bro. Our neighborhoods began to just look totally different. Men began to do things other men I had never heard of before. Women began to sell off their babies for crack rocks. Couldn't take care of their children. So many babies born to crack mothers. And yet the cracker came in with the crack and cracked our foundation. We had stronger families before that. Much stronger than we have today. Grandmothers became 40 years old. You wasn't a grandmother at 40 in my day. Or coming up when I was a child in the 70s. Wasn't no grandmothers at 40, 38. So they offset the importance of grandmothers. Grandmothers had to start raising the children, not the mother. A lot of fathers, meanwhile, they're selling crack. Young boys out there selling crack. Other men going to jail for selling crack. Prison, especially under Joe Biden. Mr. 1994 crime bill, that 12 years later, after crack had ravished so many communities, here he comes in 94, right? But them crack babies grew up and went to school here, right? The indoctrination buildings, the buildings where they're going to get indoctrinated to become docile slaves and just work for the pale face. They couldn't sit down. Classroom ethics. They didn't have no classroom etiquette. So the pale face came and did what? Like that VA doctor prescribed some medicines. Ritalin. Nothing but crack. Legalized crack under a different name for children. Because they can't sit down, right? Of course they got to sit down and listen. They got to learn all this stuff you teach them in school, even though you're lying. You ain't telling them the real truth, right? Nah. You ain't telling them that the real pilgrim is you and that the Indian or the so-called Indian was us. You wasn't telling us that. But anyway, so they filled up so many young men with Ritalin. And the incentive was they get a mother or the legal guardians of the child or children a little stipend, some money. Right? So many parents took it. And those children suffered under Ritalin. Then they got older and Molly's popped up on the scene. So they was crack induced as babies. Later on in school, given more crack called Ritalin. And then when they got older and got so-called free after they made it through school, through the indoctrination system up to 18 or whatever, or dropped out or whatever, then they come to Molly's. And the rappers talking about Scissor Urban drinking, sipping on lean and all this shit. This pale face has drugged our people and our children for years, decades now. We've been dope heads. The youth, you wonder why you can't get through to them. Well, think about all the dope that's been pushed into their veins. Or watching their friends, if they wasn't on it, go through it, deal with it. Hell of an effect. Somebody got to pay for that, right? What goes around comes around. That's what they say. Let's check this out. I'm going to share a video with you. This is inside a German lab where they clone pigs for human heart transplants. Mad scientists. They ain't playing horror music, but this is damn sure a horror flick. They're not playing monster music, they're not dressed up as monsters, but they are.
Spenderschweine genetisch so zu modifizieren, dass ihre Organe nach der Transplantation in Menschen nicht abgestoßen werden. Wie machen wir das? Wir müssen dafür genetische Modifikationen einführen, und zwar 3 Schweinegene ausschalten und mindestens 2 menschliche Gene hinzufügen. Das alles läuft in kultivierten Schweinezellen. Wir suchen uns dann diejenigen Zellen heraus, in denen die Modifikation geklappt hat. Und dann verwenden wir die Zellen für den Kerntransfer, das heißt das Klonen nach der Dolly-Technik, um aus den Zellen zunächst Embryonen herzustellen. Und diese Embryonen werden dann in der Schweinezuchtanlage in Empfängertiere transferiert, die sie dann austragen. Das heißt, nach 114 bis 116 Tagen kommen die genetisch modifizierten Schweine dann zur Welt.
Xenotransplantation is what they call it. Transferring animal organs into the so-called human body. There he is.
Spenderschwein, das in den USA verwendet worden ist, war ein geklontes Schwein. Das heißt, man hat es aus 10-fach genetisch modifizierten Zellen durch den Kerntransfer hergestellt.
Now I want to pause it just right quick to say this here. This is in Germany, the land of many germs, the land of the bubonic plague, where all them rats had overrun the land with all their disease, not mice, rats, had overran the land of Germany and made hundreds of thousands of them devils ill, according to the story. They died. Same place where the Pied Piper story, the pedophilic Pied Piper story comes out of. Germany, same place where they have animal brothels, where they be over there screwing all kind of damn different animals. Yeah, animal brothel where you can go inside, pick you a sheep and a lamb and and go on and do your thing. Yeah, sexually molest, rape, violate, defile the animal. This is in their nature. They love the animal so much that they have such a great connection to the animal. They want to be the animal. They want to have, not just eat it. No, they don't want to have just pictures of the animal in the house, little whatnots on the table, and they don't want just piggy banks to drop nickels and quarters and pennies in and shit. No, they want a heart. They want to be able to take the pig and create a heart, genetically modified heart, to put inside another genetically modified individual, which is the pale face. That's what they want. Yeah. Array for modern science, right? These are supposed to be the smartest people on the planet now. Yeah, their medical system is A1. They got hospitals everywhere, big, huge hospitals all over the country. And they don't heal not one disease. Matter of fact, if you say you can heal a disease, they might sue you, come after you, want to kill you like they did Dr. Sebi. Ain't that something? That's enough of that. Isn't that something? Pale-faced man is supposed to be the most intelligent. He acts as if he has the best schools in the world, bar none. But you haven't come to grips with nothing natural yet. Don't even produce. They don't push natural medicines at all. You tell them doctors you don't believe in their medicine, you want something natural, they be looking retarded for the most part. Why come natural medicines are not part of your insurance on these good paying jobs that we've had so many years? Blue Cross, Blue Shield, some of the best insurance you could have on a job back in the day when I was coming up. But it never paid for any type of natural methodologies, any type of natural healing, none of that. That's never paid for. Even in the VA hospital, they don't be trying to pay for natural modalities. No, if they do, it's somebody that's been trained the American way to do something, or the Western way. I feel you, Virginia S. I rarely see them as smart or human most of the time. Exactly. They're just mankind. Kind of a man. That's why they can go and think, oh, let me see if I can get this damn pig heart and put it over here and this here, this man or woman, and see how that work. We're gonna do it one of these days. We're gonna do it. It's 2022, and these devils are out here poking folks, and at the same time think they're gonna have some medical breakthrough using a goddamn pig's heart. Modern science. Is it modern? Is it science? Oh, let me share another screen with y'all, family. Once again, YouTube, this is fair use because none of these videos have any copyrights. Let's check this one out. No, not that one, not yet.
In a medical first, U.S. surgeons have successfully implanted a genetically modified pig heart into a human patient. The transplant took place last week. The 57-year-old.
Okay, I got shared the wrong video, so let me fix that. Here is a video that I want to share. We'll share that one in a second. Got to get to the other video. Excuse me, family. Here we go. Wait a minute. Damn, I'm still messing this up. I didn't share. Okay, here we go. That's the one.
In a medical first, U.S. surgeons have successfully implanted a genetically modified pig heart into a human patient. The transplant took place last week. The 57-year-old man was too ill to be eligible for a human heart transplant, and he's said to be recovering well now so far. Medical researchers hope such procedures could one day help ease the chronic shortage of human organ donations.
This is the heart used to give Dave Bennett a new lease on life. In a 9-hour procedure, surgeons transplanted the organ taken from a 1-year-old pig. It was gene-edited, bred, and killed for this purpose. Following Friday's surgery, the 57-year-old patient is breathing on his own while still connected to a heart-lung machine.
He simply didn't want to die. Doesn't want to die. And he felt that if he had no opportunity, he was pretty well convinced by multiple doctors who had told him he had a fatal disease and he was unlikely to leave the hospital because of it. That as a background, as an alternative, he said to me two very important things. He said, I don't want to die. And he said, if I do, maybe you'll learn something to help others.
Prior attempts at so-called xenotransplantation largely failed because patients' bodies rapidly rejected the animal organ. Most countries rely on an opt-in system for donation, requiring express prior consent to use the organs of dead people. In the USA alone, around 6,000 people die every year waiting for kidneys, hearts, or lungs.
It is a game changer because, now we will have these organs readily available.
It's a game
changer of genetically modifying. So if there are more tweaking required for modifying the genes, we will be able to do that.
See how they want to modify the gene?
Can customize basically
change
the heart for or the organ for the patient.
The experimental procedure raises ethical and animal rights issues and is far from being declared safe. But for now, Dave Bennett's new pig heart is still beating.
Let's bring in Peter Chin Hong here.
He's Mr. Chin Hong. They're supposed to be super duper duper
infections in transplant recipients. Transplanting animal organs into humans has mostly failed so far.
Right.
How do you rate this latest attempt?
How do you?
I rate this attempt in a very promising way, Terry.
Oh.
The reason why it's very, very different from previous eras is that we can genetically alter this heart specifically so that the human body doesn't reject it when it comes in. Our immune system is so vigorous that very minor perturbations that looks foreign is rejected very vociferously by immune system. So to make the pig heart look very much like a human heart by gene editing and cloning, makes us have to use fewer rejection meds, anti-rejection meds, which allows the patient to have more of a normal existence and be at less risk for infectious diseases as well as malignancies.
What's the biggest risk, the biggest challenge in doing this kind of transplant?
Well, I think the biggest risk is always bringing in pig infections that are not seen by humans before or malignancies. Because what happens when you suppress your immune system because you're trying to not reject the foreign organ, you put yourselves at risk for reactivation of viruses in particular or other infections, as well as malignancies that can come with the foreign invader, which is the organ in this case. So I think
foreign invader, listen to what he called
it. They have had to use a very different immunosuppression regimen specifically developed for this. So these are all things. So I guess at the end of the day, people are really holding their breath because that pig heart has a high chance of rejection, even though it was genetically modified.
Well, genetically modified animals, using them in order to use their organs and raises ethical questions. What's your position on the ethics of this?
I think it's definitely something that is continued to be discussed and worked out. But at the end of the day, you have hundreds of people and thousands, when you think about the worldwide population, waiting on the organ list and dying every day. We don't have enough human organs, as mentioned by the reporter. Many countries don't have an opt-out system. In other words, individuals have to say that they're going to donate their organs at the time before they die, and that's not so in many countries, including US. The opioid epidemic has unfortunately left a legacy of more organs temporarily because so many people are passing away, unfortunately, but the legacy and the gift of life is something that cannot be underemphasized. So I think having and scaling up opportunities like this can not only help the US, but help the rest of the world when you don't have enough organs or capacity.
Just briefly, what do you think this patient who just received the first pig heart, what do you think the prognosis is there? What are the risks that he's facing at this point?
Well, the procedure was tried in animals before with this particular technique, but not humans. So he's the first human to get this kind of heart that has been gene edited specifically. So the risks are really frank odd rejection. The body sees this large organ as not being its own. So just like the immune cells we think about with vaccines, T cells, B cells, they come in and it's almost like a bomb detonator. They're seeing this foreign organ and they're trying to attack it as an invader, an infection, or a cell gone awry, like a malignant cell. So that's the most imminent danger. Then, of course, you have infections and malignancies as well.
Professor Chin Hong, thank you very much for talking with us. That was Peter Chin Hong in San Francisco.
Thanks so much, Terry.
Peter Chin Hong in San Francisco. There's a lot of plastic surgery that goes down in San Francisco. A whole lot of Asians walking around with big old swole up lips, Kim Kardashian lips, and Khloe Kardashian lips, big old all that ass and kneecap fat stuck in their lips. A whole lot of them down there walking around looking crazy as hell. But America is huge on organ transplants, on organ donations, and organ donors. And even on the back of your license, you have the opportunity to be an organ donor. People that sell insurance who really know the real deal, that's car insurance, will sometimes will tell you, take your name off that list. Because a lot of times, when you're an organ donor, and it's on the back of your license that you would like to give your organs if you die, they make accidents happen. Yeah, they'll send somebody out trained just to run you off the road, hit your car. No damage to them really, because they're trained professionals on how to create wrecks so they can get paid off of it. Well, that's so they can get an organ, And over in Israel, them so-called people that's supposed to be the chosen people of the Creator, do you know they're always getting organs? Do you know we have the strongest organs on the planet? So you wonder why 75,000 missing indigenous or sisters, melanated women are missing in this country. That's just what they decided to write down. Why do you think they go missing? Henrietta Lacks, a sister who had a cancer and was going to the some Western doctors here years ago. They found out her cells was generating so powerfully and so strongly and so rapidly. And that she had what they call immortality in her genes. So even though she was ill and was going to pass, her genes will continue to keep regenerating. We have within us something pale faces do not have, something mankind lacks. That's why mankind wants to always be trying to get organs. And they have prices on how much a kidney is cost in the undercurrent, the underground black market of organ donors, prices for organs. You know, there's plenty of sick Neanderthal devils with infectious diseases like the pig that are waiting for transplants of all types of transplants. You know, pale faces have names. Many of the diseases have pale face names. Alzheimer's, some pale hunky. Crohn's, some pale hunky. Legionnaires, some pale hunky. Huntington's disease, some pale hunky, named after them. And Huntington's disease, they got a bank called Huntington. But Huntington's disease is a disease that a lot of pale faces have. You see, they are genetically modified creatures, and when we lay down with them, we become genetically modified. And one thing they're doing right now is genetically modifying everybody that takes the jab. If they don't give you a placebo and you got the real jab, you have been genetically modified, GMO'd. And that's just the facts. Peace, my sister Taisha Essex. What's good? What's good? I don't know, Diallo Straight Talk. I don't know what aggressive Ben fella is at right now. Let's look at another video. Let me share another video with y'all right quick. Xenotransplant update. This is an update after you got the heart. Look at that. See that? Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer. Check that out. How that pops up.
Welcome to Frontline News from the University of Maryland School of Medicine News Center. I'm Larry Roberts. Coming up, the CBD's Mix and Match COVID vaccine study is published by the New England Journal of Medicine. But first, an update on the condition of David Bennett, who received the world's first pig heart transplant on January 7th.
He is remarkably alert. When I get to the point of the window in front of his room, he's usually aware, right? He kind of knows what's going on, and he'll give me a wave. And he'll usually beckon me, and then he'll want to tell me he wants to go home. When can I go home? And so as long as he's asking me that, I think we have the right frame of mind.
Dr. Bartley Griffith led the team of surgeons and specialists who performed the historic xenotransplant. It would not have been possible without decades of research conducted by Dr. Mohammed Mohiuddin. He says the heart is performing very well.
It's beating very well, showing no signs of rejection. And, in fact, it's beating so well that we have to give drugs to slow it down a little.
Oh, wow. We're feeling progressively confident that we're ahead of issues with respect to heart rejection for a while, months maybe.
Along with conventional drugs to suppress his immune system, Mr. Bennett is receiving an experimental anti-rejection drug. The drug prevents T cells and B cells from triggering an attack on the heart.
But our main drug that we are using is anti-CD40, which we have shown in our previous experiments in non-human models, that is very critical. So this antibody, anti-CD40, is not used clinically in transplant these days. And it is only used experimentally.
Dr. Griffith says Mr. Bennett is also improving because of the round-the-clock care he receives from an army of specialists and nurses.
It's an array of specialists that include people who focus on infection prevention, people who are what we call critical care physicians, who just really spend their life taking care of patients who are in ICUs. It includes our wonderful group of cardiologists.
The team also includes respiratory therapists, clinical pharmacologists, and physical therapists.
He basically has his own personal trainer, if you wish, physical therapist. And they'll do passive range of motion exercises and then active range, which means, to work against resistances.
Mr. Bennett has now lived longer than the first person to receive a human heart transplant in 1967.
It will be a slow progress. We don't expect him to go home very soon. I mean, it will be a process of, long rehabilitation, and we'll help him with that. And hopefully, one day, he'll be able to go home and walk his dog that he wishes to do.
In our Discovery segment, an important vaccine booster study conducted by the Center for Vaccine Development and Global Health is published in the New England Journal of Medicine. The study found mixing and matching booster vaccines was safe and effective, and in some cases better than following up with the original vaccine. The study measured serum antibody levels 15 days
See how they're
after
talking
booster
about this shot and
vaccinations.
putting it together?
Really what we're interested in is your neutralizing
that they
antibody.
gave
And the
this
neutralizing antibody is very
Neandrathal.
specific to the virus. So while your total antibody production is important, the neutralizing antibody is critically important.
She got the mask on
and we
here,
now
and
know
I
that
said
if
you
you
ain't
can
got
get
to wear
over
no
a
mask.
threshold of 100, you have about a 91% protection against symptomatic COVID. We've established that these boosts
Look at that, how they shoot their own kids
to
up
get
with it.
you
They don't give a
above
damn, shoot
100,
you
but
up too
some
when you
work
show
much
your
better
ass up
than
like him.
others.
Dr. Like says investigators continue to follow the study participants so that new questions about COVID vaccine protection can be addressed over time.
The next question is going to be, do we need additional boosts? How can we do a better job at anticipating what variants are coming down the pike? And can we expand the breadth of our immune response so that we are able to cover future variants of concern that we might not anticipate or be aware of, today?
And that's Frontline News. I'm Larry Roberts. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Frontline News, Maryland Medicine. Right? Now see how they put them two stories together? What's the connection here? The man getting the transplant with the pig's heart, and then people getting the COVID shot. Funny how they was talking about gene editing and changing the DNA. That's what gene editing does. They didn't say that, but that's what happens. Transforming you into something other than what you were born as. Why would they be showing? Think about it now. I want you to think. Why would they be showing the two together? What does one have to do with the other? Gene editing is what they both have in connection. Yeah, gene editing. I didn't put the video together, YouTube, so don't try to say this is medical misinformation. I didn't put the video. It's y'all's goddamn video. That's right, test tube dummies. C and trucker D, that's exactly what it is. Test tube dummies. Wow. Silicon Valley, silicons. You've been conned because your ass is silly. I'm going to show you one more one more video here.
In January, David Bennett made history becoming the first human ever to have a heart of a genetically modified pig transplanted in their body. Now, the University of Maryland Medical Center, where he had the procedure, has announced that he has died. No official cause of death has been revealed, but doctors say he began deteriorating several days earlier. Bennett, a father and handyman from Maryland, had heart disease so severe that he didn't qualify for a traditional transplant. When the medical team asked him to be part of this first-of-its-kind procedure, he agreed. David's son praised the hospital and said he hopes his dad's story can be the beginning of hope and not the end when it comes to organ shortage. We are grateful for every innovative moment, every crazy dream, every sleepless night that went into this historic effort, he said. David Bennett was 57 years old.
And just like that, that's it. You didn't see the doctors that have been said, oh yeah, we're confident. We don't see any rejection. As a matter of fact, we had to give him some drugs because it was beating so fast. It was so strong, you know. We had to give him some drugs to kind of calm it down. Where was they at in the video that just said he was dead? Where was all these promising doctors from Baltimore and Maryland when the old Neandrathal kicked the goddamn bucket? Nothing to say? Where was the Asian guy? The one who said, yeah, you know what, one thing it could be, he could have some infections from the pig, from the pig's heart, it could be some infections. But where the hell was he at? None of them, nowhere to be found. There's like 20 doctors in the goddamn room, cutting on and splicing on and sewing up and tying up and pulling apart and washing up and the inside getting the heart and all that ready, standing all there with the mask on, but nobody there to say a word. When the Neanderthal died, then the dumbass son tell me, oh, we're so happy for the procedure. How could you be happy? Your daddy died with a fake-ass pig heart, a genetically modified pig's heart. See, white folk, they trust each other, and they know damn well historically they don't get nothing right medically. Pale faces are not the folks you run to for medical procedures that will save your life. They can help you prolong some of your days, possibly. But you ain't gonna live your life healed from diseases that you get in America through pale faces. And why would you want a nasty ass pig of all animals? Why would you want an organ from a nasty, filthy ass pig with the trichmonas? Is it trichmonas? Or is that an STD? Trichnosis, I'm sorry. With the damn trichnosis worm in it, they say you can cook hog on a grill or wherever and burn it crispy black and you still can't kill the damn trichnosis worm in it. Why would you want a pig's organ in your system? What the hell would make you think that that's a good thing to do? Pigs live in their own shit, slop, I remember when I was younger, our pastor had a pig farm on a little road in our city called Town Line. And I had never been out to no pig farm, no farm, period. So one day the pastor picked me up and he had his son in a little red pickup truck. We went to Dave's Fruit Market. And we went to the front door. And we told, he told him I'm here get the feed from my hogs. Okay, Mr. Jones, let's go on to the back. So we go to the back, pull up the truck up there to the concrete. And they come out the back, walking back there, and they start giving out boxes, handing us boxes. We putting the boxes in the trunk, in the truck, in the pickup, back of the pickup. I'm noticing that everything is rotten. Everything in the box is rotten. Rotten tomatoes, rotten grapefruit, rotten watermelons, rotten cantaloupes. Everything was rotten. Like I said, I had never seen no pig farm or no farm, period. Man, we pulled up, goddamn them pigs. They see that damn red truck pull up, them damn pig eye lit up and shit. They went to knocking their goddamn little piglets down the hall. I'm talking about the hall, the big ones. They went to kicking and knocking the little goddamn piglets out the way. Boom, get your ass out. You know, they had to run all through the damn hall's legs to get some rotten ass food. And then they was living out there in their own dookie, walking around in mud, wet mud with their own kid in it. Then I looked and they had this damn vein, some kind of hole in the leg of one of them. All of them had this hole in their leg, and this green, bluish looking shit was running up out of it. I was like, ooh, this what we've been eating? Bob Evans down on the farm. You know, commercial was real popular back in the day. Plenty of pale faces, you know, go out there. I'm going out to Bob Evans. I'm gonna get me some of them Jimmy Dean sausage. Boy. Pale faces done made so many people sick as hell as a damn dog eating swine. But thought, well, hell, why don't we go ahead on and make a genetically modified pig heart and put it in a person? Let's do it, Billy. All these people with big ass, swole up bellies, heart disease, done had strokes, teeth done fell out their damn head and shit, done went blind, had their toes and fingers and legs and shit cut all off. Because of pigs, swine, the eating of swine's flesh. But yet, still the great white, smart, intelligent, intellectual, pale-faced doctors decided that they was going to get them a genetically modified pig's heart. 1-year-old pig, too. Made and bred just for that. They thought that they would have all types of little piglets lined up, genetically modified, to go inside the people that they're genetically modifying right now, who are more than likely going to need some organs because the organs is going to start failing on their asses. See, because that they done shot in your arm, it more than likely it may shut down your organs, some of your organs. You're going to need transplants, organ transplants. This pale-faced devil has genetically modified many people on the planet now, to the point where there may be a zombie apocalypse. A bunch of goddamn monsters running around because Frankenstein, has been let loose. Dr. Frankenstein in the laboratory has created a bunch of other little Frankensteins, and they may be let loose all over the globe. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Family, some of you all might want to say a little something. So I'm going to invite some of y'all in. If you want to rap, if you want to say something, here you go. Here's the link to the chat. So you can come on in and speak on it. Give you a few more minutes before I decide to end the show here. Oh, and while you're doing that, let me say this, because I got 2 strikes on this channel. You only need 3 strikes within 90 days for them to block you. I mean, for them to delete your whole channel. I think I got to March 22nd or April 22nd or something like that for one of the strikes to go away. It'll just be 1 strike. But just in case they decide they want to delete my whole page because this video has something they don't like, let me share with you all my other page. All right, family, here we go. Share this screen with y'all right quick, just so you can go here and subscribe to this here page. Like I said, just in case they delete this page. Here you have my Dawa Israel Plus. You go there now, or when this video is over, and subscribe to that page too. I haven't put too many videos on that page, as you can see here. But I will, if they decide to, again, delete this particular page that I'm on right now, which is my main page, my Dawa Israel Speaks page. All right, family? So again, there's a link in the chat if anybody wants to speak on it. You have opportunity at this time to come on and, add your worthiness to the chat, to the video itself, that is. Family, I hope that you're doing well wherever you are. I hope that you know this war, so-called war, is not ours. Hope you know that the pale faces are lying, showing you fake pictures and all these buildings and all these people up in the build, people that's supposed to be waiting to catch a ride out of Ukraine. Nobody's crying. Everybody look neat. Ain't nobody hats all killed, messed up on their head. Everybody looked like they was able to put their clothes on and walk right out the buildings they was in. They wasn't in no hurry, it looked like to me at all. Nobody's crying. They singing songs and shit and all this. Come on now. There's somebody dropping bombs in buildings and people are getting killed. They live there. Why come ain't no dead bodies been shown? Why come ain't nobody crying in the bus stations and in the train stations and all this and that? At the airport, distraught because they saw what they saw on their way to the airport, to the train station, to the bus station. Why? Don't believe the hype, fam. This is a wag the dog situation, straight up. If you ain't never seen the movie Wag the Dog with little Dustin Hoffman or Tootsie in it and Robert De Niro, you need to go check it out. You'll understand what I'm talking about. This devil will use Hollywood actors and actresses, who a lot of them are inverted, Baphomets. He used them devils to make movies to show you what's going on in the future, what's going to go on in the future. Well, in Wag the Dog, they had a whole fake war. Dustin Hoffman was the big-time Hollywood producer in the movie. And there was a scandal in the White House, the shit house, the outhouse. Okay? And They needed some type of distraction because it was coming up to, I believe, an election year. And they wanted all of this. They wanted the sexual scandal. It's always a sexual scandal. They wanted the sexual scandal to disappear. And they wanted the people to have trust and faith in the president again. So they went to Dustin Hoffman, told him to create a movie. Got to be the best one you ever done. And they went on the news, and the movie was played out on the news. That's how this movie is being played out, on the news. This is a movie being played out on the news called World War III. Fake as hell. What's real, though, is the war on us. That's always been on us. I told you about it earlier a little bit when I mentioned the drugs, the crack, the Ritalin, the Mollies. Before that, the brothers went into Vietnam, come back, heroin addicts, and heroin was all through the streets too. While they was pushing heroin on our brothers and sisters, on our brothers definitely, in Vietnam, they was pushing heroin in the streets as well. See, the pale-faced devil, if he kick off a so-called war somewhere, he got war going on right here in the States against the people that live here, the civilian as well. And he don't never stop going to war. We've been at war with this devil. Why the hell are we concerned about a damn Ukraine? All pale faces in America need to go wherever the hell you come from and get ready to help your people fight and do what they do best. Lie, fake, front, possibly get ready for a nuclear war. Go and help your people. Go back home where you come from, because everywhere you've went, where melanated people are, you've caused trouble, confusion, death, disaster, wickedness, evil. You turn the people away from nature and towards yourself, towards your wickedness, your religions. Charlie Wilson's War, I got to check that out, my sister, Taisha. I don't see how everybody don't see how wicked these devils are. It's crazy how we still have to convince people. Young bro, you know I've been doing this for a minute, still doing it. And before I came, was many great, way greater than I, male and female, that was doing it their way in their little respective cities. There's always gonna be folks that the Most High sent among us, raised up among us to try to tell us the truth about the governments that we've been under for centuries. Wicked governments that have a problem with the Creator. They want to be the Creator, and they want to recreate the Creator's creation so it can fall in line with their deviance. I'm going to say this about this here jab, and I'm going to let y'all go. You know, these pale faces always have their scientists. These monsters, basically, without the scary face. Always trying to study how humanity works, how the human works, us, how the melanated being works, right? And what makes them so spiritual. So this group of pale-faced, demonic, Dr. Frankensteins thought they was going to find out what it is that made our people so spiritual. So they took some of the most spiritual people they knew and hooked up their wires and their little machines to them that read vibrations, things of that nature. And they found out that all these spiritual beings had one thing in common, and it was the VMAT gene. And that particular gene was very strong in all these spiritual people who felt an inclination from something higher to move in a more spiritual direction. They wanted to patent that thing, but it was natural, so they couldn't do it. You can't patent what's natural, devil. So what they did was they said they was going to patent some liquid. Something they could put in a vial. Something they could draw out the vial in a syringe and boop, poke it in your arm. And that liquid was patented by these same devils. Yeah. And what it does is its purpose is to attack that VMAT gene, the G-O-D supposedly, if you want to use that word, in you, the creator in you. Its specific job was to attack the creator in you. The voice of compassion and understanding and spiritual enlightenment and knowledge within you. Attack it and suppress it. And then it would go to every cell, reprogramming every cell in the body. Putting it in what? A cell, a prison. And the person will be remotely controlled through this liquid. I'll let you figure out what I'm talking about. That liquid is being shot at many, many people today. Figure it out. That liquid, that same liquid that's there to attack the VMAT gene, to cause people not to hear the voice of the creator anymore, is in the veins of many people, and now little children, because the adults are just that damn stupid. And they're taking their children to get these damn jabs. And now children are ending up with myocarditis, heart diseases, where they may need what? Heart transplants. And again, in 2022, these pale-faced devils thought they was going to have plenty of genetically modified hearts on deck to throw into people that they genetically modified themselves. This devil, man, this devil deserves every death that comes their way. And that people are guilty all over the planet because they have never stopped the mad scientists among them from destroying not only them, but every other being on the planet. Nothing is safe. When the pale-faced man puts his robe on and goes into a laboratory, nothing is safe. I see you trolls on the page here with them whatever stupid comment. I don't even know what that stuff means. But that's what they do when, they can't control what you're saying. That's why they hate lies. When you're live and you talk with some sense and you're breaking down their nonsense and making it make sense, they want to throw you off your game. Anyway, family, I hope that something I said tonight makes sense to you. And I hope that your eyes are open and you're peeking right at this devil while he's peeking at you. I agree, brother. The pale-faced man is the devil, the true personification of that on this planet. Take care of yourself, family. I sure will keep exposing these wicked devils. Yes, indeed. Iyas, daughters of Yasharallah. Yes, indeed. Most definitely. Look after each other, family. Hold each other up, family. Watch out for those that's been shot. Watch out for those who've been genetically altered. For the altered carbonated people. Watch out for those individuals. Keep a close eye on them. Watch how they begin to change as the months go on. Yeah, the pale-faced man got a lot to pay for. Because they have really wreaked havoc on the world now. Much love to you all. Be good to each other. And try to find a silver lining, as they say, in the midst of all the madness. Get your survival gear up. Get your body in shape if it's not that way. Grow what you can grow on your own. Get seeds. Get seeds, family. Because I'm going to tell you something. Seeds, in the end, I'm knocking my stuff down over here. May become like gold if the doo-doo hits the fan completely. Yeah. Seeds will become like gold. Because you're going to have to feed yourself. Go in, family, because you ain't going to find no savior coming out the sky. Go within. And that messianic so-called energy that we've been looking for on the planet is already here. We have to activate it within ourselves. That will be the coming of this savior of the world. When we decide to go within, those of us who haven't been altered and who haven't had our VMAT gene suppressed, those of us whose genes are still intact. Halito family, peace and shalom. Have a good night.